way of life. That's what Masonry is all about. And we teach it. Every degree is a lesson.
Masonry really gives us, through ritual and through its teachings, the way to find the meaning of life.
Before Walter Bruening's passing, he had achieved the title of oldest living man in the world. Walter was a Scottish Rite Freemason and had joined the fraternity in 1925. During his life, 22 U.S. presidents held office. Walter witnessed the homesteading of Montana, 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and man's first walk on the moon. As Associate Director of Membership Services, I had the opportunity to speak with Walter about his experiences as a Freemason. I also spoke with Justin Davis, a young Scottish Rite Mason who was just beginning his Masonic journey. As a Mason, Justin is continuing a great tradition started by his grandfather. These are their stories.
But I became active from the time I got in there. As soon as I got the 3 degrees, well, they start putting me in the chairs. And the second year, I got appointed to go through the chairs. So in '34, I became master of it. But at that years, all the officers had to learn everything. Everything there was, you know. Well, years ago, you know, Masonry damn near become extinct. You remember in the country? Almost extinct. And then it came back.
We're coming around to a time where the lessons and the teachings of Freemasonry are becoming more relevant. We see an increased disenfranchisement with society of many of our youth. And so they're not connecting with a lot of other organizations. And I think they're looking for something that creates meaning in life and creates a goal to work towards.
If you're not active, you're not going to get a thing out of it, I'll tell you that. I don't think we were born here just for ourselves. We're here to help other people. And I think all of us thought that. All of us will think so. Helping other people is the greatest thing that there is.
I think it was Newton that said it, Freemasonry is the fatherhood of God over the brotherhood of man. And just that simple statement brings home what our relationship on earth and in our existence is. We are the children of God, and we are here to treat each other like brothers. Going back to my grandfather, who was Grand Master of the state of Montana, and my father's past master of the lodge in Livingston, where I grew up. And it was always around. It was always part of my life growing up. And so it was never a secret in our house about their membership in Masonry and exactly what it was and what it did for them. And so it was only natural when I turned 19 that I was of age to petition the lodge, and that was something I definitely wanted to do right away. And just like I learned all of my home improvement skills and all of my handiness from my father, so I've learned much of my moral skills and my, I guess, ethical and moral tool chest for becoming a better man from Scottish Rite. We are this imperfect person, imperfect man, and there's always some way to improve ourselves. But you got to have the right tools for that, and I think Scottish Rite provides those tools and shows you the way to progress as a person and as a man.
"84 years separated Walter and Justin, yet what they had learned from Freemasonry and the Scottish Rite had not changed. A way of life, Walter said. A way of life, indeed."
And I think it's a very relevant organization. I think one of the things you hear a lot about today, and today's youth specifically, is that there are so many distractions in life. You have a cell phone, a BlackBerry, an iPhone, a computer, an iPod, and you can be so disjuncted from the world. And I think everyone sometimes tends to forget that the world goes around because people make the world go around. And I think Masonry is one of those beautiful things that for that time, for that hour and a half, that 2 hours on that Wednesday night or that Saturday night, that everyone is in that lodge room and everyone's kind of working toward a better purpose. And that's a humankind purpose. And I think all of the rings and the buzzes of a cell phone and all that kind of stuff kind of goes away.
I think that with the steady decline of just morals in general in society, I think that organizations that kind of try to teach brotherly love and I get away from the me type of mentality. I think that those are positive organizations, and I've always tried to seek ways to serve my community.
I don't think there's enough emphasis on people having values, on wanting to do their best, on wanting to do the right thing, on wanting to treat others right. And Masonry builds on that, not from the aspect of trying to get other people to do it, but trying to get each of us to do the best that we can with ourselves, and not to be as judgmental on other people. It's a way to make good men better.
My father's a Mason. I just didn't get in right away. In fact, I'm the last one in my family to have gotten the message, and I did it on my own, and so did my brother. So my father really had no influence on us, although we have 5 or 6 generations of our family on both my father's side and my mother's side, going back to some Grand Masters.
And of course, as far as the United States, it plays a major role because most of the founding fathers were Masons, and you can see the lessons entwined in the different documents that they wrote and the letters that they wrote back and forth to each other and the decisions that they made that framed our country.
More and more young people in the Blue Lodges are coming in. A lot of young people that I see, former military, business people, are finding in us what we have said all along that we are, which is the opportunity to take good men and make them better.
My first sergeant in my first unit was a Freemason, and I noticed that he had a lot of community service activities going on. I just really wanted to be a part of that. I was in Baghdad when I had this conversation with him, and he was just an outstanding guy and always there for the troops, going the extra mile.
And so I would say more relevant today than we might have been in years past. But part of that too is I've seen Masonry change a lot.
Since being a Freemason, as an emergency department physician, there have been many times when either the patient or the family of a patient would see my Blue Lodge ring and say, "Look, Dad, he's a Mason," as they knew that there was a brother by their bedside taking care of them.
Give me Freemasonry for Dummies. Give me the 101 on it. Why is this group fascinating?
They are fascinating because we live in a world where different cultures are killing each other over whose version of God is accurate. And here you have an organization, a global organization, that is spiritual and yet will bring Muslims, Jews, Christians, and even just people who are confused about the religion, bring them together and say, look, we all agree that there's some good big thing out there, but we're not going to put a label on it. Let's worship together.
Masonry is really without equal in terms of a belief system, which is that no one can be told what to believe, especially when it comes to the very personal nature of belief in a higher power.
One of the reasons that I'm very comfortable being a Mason and contribute in my own way financially is because we do good things. And we do them for a lot of people who are not Masons, but who are Americans. And that makes me very happy to be part of it.
So I think that's how I think Freemasonry today is more relevant than some other periods of time, because whereas in the whole golden age of fraternalism, when you had friends who were Masons, so you joined, now it's people looking for something else to fill a different part of their life.
My name is Jason Orm. I'm an electrician. I'm a sergeant in the Army National Guard.
My name is Nicholas Samponia, and I am a Freemason.
My name is Richard Draper, and I'm a Scottish Rite Mason.
I am Mike Enzi, United States Senator from Wyoming, and I am a Scottish Rite Freemason.
I'm Brad Paisley, and I am a Scottish Rite Mason.
My name is Tom Wilkerson. I'm a Scottish Rite Mason, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the U.S. Naval Institute.